Hello, lovely people. Welcome to today's episode of Reality TV News. Reminding you, we post videos daily, so if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, smash that subscribe button so that you don't miss any important update.
Our first stop takes us to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Jennifer Aydin recently spoke candidly on Angelina Pivarnick's podcast about her experiences with fans and her personal journey towards self-awareness.
Ah, yes, Jennifer.
Her general approach to fans, you might know, is pretty open. She's famously said, "I will stop traffic to give you a picture," even if she's with her family or picking up her son.
Which is quite something. But what's truly striking here is how Jennifer, despite that open policy, still encounters situations that push her boundaries. She recounted a particularly bold incident at the Jersey Shore, where she was actually sleeping on the beach. And a worker woke her up to take a picture with a fan.
Her reaction was totally understandable. Dude, I would never go up to somebody sleeping. She found it a whole other level of boldness, yet she's still obliged.
Still did it.
Yeah, rationalizing it as, it's just 2 minutes of my life, I'll make them happy.
And she also feels she's frequently misunderstood on RHONJ, doesn't she?
She does, describing the show as just a screenshot of a much bigger picture, hinting at a lot more happening behind the scenes that viewers, well, that we don't see.
Jennifer's narrative here strikingly reveals a strategic shift among some reality stars, actively reclaiming their narratives through personal platforms. Her new podcast, TV Gold, she describes it as a modern-day Oprah meets Ellen Jennifer style. The prime example of this push for, let's say, narrative autonomy. It underscores the ongoing tension between a star's authentic self and their curated on-screen persona.
Yeah.
And her effort to be a non-edited, unfiltered version of me directly addresses that. She's even trying to work on thinking before I speak because in this industry, as she puts it, it's not always received well and sometimes taken out of context.
Which is a huge part of the game, isn't it? It's fascinating to hear her perspective on what constitutes TV gold, that industry term for genuine, unscripted drama that makes for compelling television. She's moved from initial embarrassment to a full understanding of its entertainment value. She even cites her iconic RHONJ moment.
Oh, the party.
Yes, getting completely drunk and being carried out of Teresa Giudice's backyard in season 11. She initially thought it was her worst moment, but now fully embraces it as TV gold.
Because it was real.
Precisely because, as she said, it was all real.
Her podcast aims to be funny and lighthearted, covering pop culture, headlines, news, health, wellness, beauty. Interviews, too, including her husband, Bill Aydin. But she plans to steer clear of religion and politics unless discussing her personal spirituality.
Okay, next, we're looking closely at some recent public statements from Teresa Giudice. She's been dealing with quite a bit of media attention lately, and how she's responding is pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's start with that moment everyone was talking about, the live interview she cut short.
On WGN Morning News in Chicago.
Exactly. It was supposed to be about her show there, right?
Yeah.
Promotional. But the host, Larry Potash, started asking about her past legal stuff.
Yeah, kind of a sharp turn. And she just said, okay, I'm hanging up.
Yeah.
And did. Just gone. Now, some people might say, look, live TV, you got to roll with punches. Does she kind of set a weird precedent doing that? Or is it fair pushback?
Well, what's really interesting is how she explained it afterwards, on her podcast. She made it super clear it wasn't some, heat of the moment thing.
Oh, really? Intentional?
Totally intentional. She knew what she was doing. And this, it sort of speaks to a bigger trend, maybe. Public figures wanting more control, setting boundaries in this, always-on media world. It feels calculated.
Asserting control in real time. And she has this philosophy, right? She said something like, at this point in my life, if I'm not happy, I'm going to walk away. She talked about feeling powerful, taking herself out of it, saying the host wasn't giving her a safe space, didn't let her do her job, which was promoting the show.
Right. And that sounds simple, maybe walk away. But for someone whose job is being in the public eye,
it's kind of a big deal, yeah.
And her point about local news, that it should be about connection, community, not confrontation.
Yeah, she actually asked, why wouldn't you provide a platform where people feel safe to talk?
Which, highlights this whole expectation of how hosts should treat guests, especially when they're invited on for something specific, like promotion.
Did she mention other instances?
She did, yeah. She mentioned hearing the same host did something similar with Tom Sandoval. So it illustrates maybe a pattern,
Yeah.
Which reinforces why she felt she needed to draw that line. It wasn't just about her.
Okay, so that incident seems to really show her approach to setting boundaries in the moment. Let's shift gears a bit, because we see a similar kind of tackling things head on with her financial situation.
Right, moving from controlling the immediate interaction to shaping the longer-term narrative around her finances. Another area with tons of scrutiny.
Yeah, she talked about the rumors changing her team. How does handling the money stuff connect or maybe differ from how she handled that interview?
Well, taking accountability when you're famous, it's not just sorting out the legal or money side, is it? It's a huge PR thing, too.
True.
She openly, it's a long process, fixing the tax issues. And she made a point of clarifying the steps she's taking, hiring these top-notch new accounting firms.
So it's proactive.
And putting that out there publicly, especially with the top-notch detail, it's strategic. It's about rebuilding trust, maybe rehabilitating her brand a bit in an industry that can be really tough about money mistakes.
And she also warned people, didn't she, about the industry being shady and toxic, told listeners to trust their gut. Now, trusting your gut is powerful advice personally, but maybe a bit simple for the entertainment business. Is gut feeling enough sometimes, or do you need more?
That's a fair point. I think her message really depicts her own journey, the lessons she learned the hard way. She clarifies, her commitment now to cross every T, dot every I, pay taxes right.
Right.
But she also acknowledges, hey, sometimes you trust the wrong people. She said, shit happens in life, but it's all how you deal with it, which really underscores that resilience piece, focusing on moving forward.
Yeah, and she ended that part with a pretty strong message, didn't she, about resilience.
If you get knocked down, you just got to pick yourself right back up and keep going. Classic Teresa, really.
Okay, next, let's pivot to the sunny shores of Miami and the emotional toll reality TV can take. Alexia Nepola from The Real Housewives of Miami recently revealed how her ongoing divorce drama with Todd Nepola severely impacted her ability to film the currently airing 7th season.
Oh, that sounds tough.
She was candid about the severity of her struggles, stating, "It was raw, it was emotional, it was so hard."
Alexia confirmed that some days, I didn't even show up to film. It was that bad. This powerfully demonstrates the unique pressures these shows place on individuals, forcing them to navigate incredibly raw emotions in a very public, performative arena.
Imagine that.
Which, can be an immense challenge for their mental and emotional well-being.
And it's also a powerful reminder that even when cast members try to offer what they see as good advice, sometimes the personalities in conflict, like Larsa Pippen and Lisa Hochstein, can be incredibly stubborn.
Definitely.
Alexia finds herself stuck in the middle of their feud. She observed, they're both wrong and they're both right. She characterizes their tension as a constant cycle. One minute they're good, another minute they snap at each other.
And Todd's not coming back, she said.
No. Todd, by the way, will not be returning to the show, with Alexia noting he was not a fan of RHOM. Okay, so from the emotional complexities of divorce in Miami, let's explore a very different kind of relationship drama unfolding in the Vanderpump Rules universe. Are Tom Schwartz and Lala Kent secretly dating? This rumor really took off after Schwartz's recent breakup from Sofia Scoro.
Ah, the dating rumors.
And the speculation was really fueled by Lala Kent herself, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. What'd she say?
On her June 23 episode of Give Them Lala, she stated that if she had to choose a Vanderpump cast member as a baby daddy or sperm donor for her daughters Ocean and Sosa,
wow, okay,
she would choose Schwartz. Her reasoning, "I don't feel like you'd give me a hard time."
And Schwartz's reaction?
He said, "I'm so easy. We don't see each other a ton, but I consider you one of my best friends."
Friendly enough.
And Lala reciprocated, adding, "I have a very soft spot in my heart for you." This back and forth certainly got fans talking.
I bet. And that buzz then translates directly into the fan-driven narratives you mentioned. An unidentified source even alleged via Bravo and Cocktails that Schwartz and Lala are actually together. And that Schwartz is always picking up the bill.
See? And speaking of proof and public perception, let's shift gears to Southern Charm and Summer House. We have Craig Conover finally sharing proof of the engagement ring he bought for Paige DeSorbo.
Oh, the ring saga.
Yes. An item whose very existence Paige herself questioned. This controversy sparked during the Summer House Season 9 reunion in May. Paige suggested Craig had lied about buying her an engagement ring before their November 2024 breakup. She specifically doubted his story of returning it.
Ouch.
So Craig responded on the Toast podcast on June 25, showing a time-stamped photo of the ring.
He actually showed it.
Yep. Wondering why no one just asked him to see it, he described it as a 4-carat elongated cushion cut with a hidden halo under it. It was platinum.
Sounds nice.
The photo's metadata confirmed it was taken in Charleston, South Carolina on March 11th.
So he had the proof. Why didn't he share it sooner?
Well, Craig explained he held off sharing it because he tries to stay out of online drama. He felt he and Paige didn't have anything to prove and lived a pretty decent life offline. He genuinely felt he didn't owe proof to the public.
I can see that. He admitted returning the ring was a weird day because, well, it's not something you plan. He also noted its value had dropped and it hasn't been resold.
And on his current status.
Craig confirmed he is single after a split, stating he wasn't ready to date and needed healing.
Okay, now let's turn our attention back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta and that recently finalized divorce between Porsha Williams and Simon Guobadia.
Oh, this one's messy.
Simon is now giving his side of the story, and it's quite the tale. He expressed absolute regret over the marriage.
Absolutely regrets it.
And claimed he was blindsided when Porsha filed for divorce without sharing concerns, which he called a coup. He even tried to reach her mom, but she didn't respond, and he sent Porsha a text calling the marriage a $5 million rehab project.
A $5 million rehab project. Oof. And Simon's assertion that he was targeted from day one for financial reasons is a particularly provocative claim.
He alleged Porsha was in his DMs praying for me after his previous divorce when he was in a vulnerable position.
Interesting timing, if true.
His determination to fight the prenup ruling, despite the judge upholding it, is certainly a bold move, too.
He's fighting the prenup.
Yeah. He admits getting engaged in 30 days was crazy, saying, I was out of my goddamned mind to have done that, and of course I'm paying dearly for it.
Well, self-awareness, maybe.
Maybe a little late. He promises to fight the prenup all the way to the Supreme Court, challenging it because he felt targeted financially from the start.
Wow. That really sets the scene for the complexities when a relationship involves significant wealth and high public visibility.
Definitely.
His account also brings to light the weaponization of personal details in public disputes. Simon discussed child support claims, alleging Porsha sent two $2,500 payments for his child support while he was detained by IC.
Right.
He states this didn't cover much and believes it was not done in good faith, but to give a narrative in court or to the public.
Using it as leverage, potentially.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Regarding his relationship with Porsha's daughter, he claims he doesn't have one because exes tend to use children to get back into his life. He asserted Porsha texted him that her daughter missed him, a text he didn't respond to, as he felt she realized she had made a mistake and wanted to reconcile. That's loaded.
Very. He also claims Porsha never developed a particular relationship with his sons, despite doing family things together, which just further illustrates the depth of their disagreement. It's a lie.
It really is.
Okay.
Okay, finally, let's explore some explosive accusations, again from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Angela Oakley is claiming that Phaedra Parks was behind a recent cheating rumor about Angela's husband, Charles Oakley.
Phaedra again. Okay.
Remember, the on-screen incident involved a man approaching Angela on RHOA, claiming Charles was seen with another woman. Angela was confused, didn't know the man.
Right, I remember that scene. This raises an important question about the boundaries of narrative and truth in reality television, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
On Reality with the King podcast, Angela stated she absolutely 100% believes Phaedra started the rumor. This highlights how often personal conflicts might be manufactured or amplified for narrative purposes on these shows.
Yeah.
And it speaks to how individuals like Angela must navigate very public accusations and betrayals, even when they suspect manipulation behind the scenes.
So what's her reasoning? How does she connect it to Phaedra?
Angela claims the man who started the rumor actually told her it was Phaedra.
He told her directly.
Apparently, asserting he had a lot to lose if he lied about it. Angela also points to an alleged connection to Athens, Georgia Phaedra's hometown, stating the man's sister went to high school with Phaedra's brother. Angela found this connection remarkable, having never met anybody from Athens, Georgia in her 2 decades in Georgia until this specific incident.
That's quite specific. Her strong reaction is pretty understandable then. She called Phaedra's alleged actions devious for openly lying on my husband.
She didn't hold back.
No. She also had a sharp retort to Phaedra's oldest-looking young person comment.
Oh, yeah.
Suggesting, I kind of want Phaedra to find a man, a friend, or a mirror, and implying she would fit in with the original older cast, pretty much. Angela also spoke about discovering Charles's past infidelity via DMs from other women after she was newly married, and dealing with postpartum, describing herself as devastated and very delusional.
Wow, opening up about a lot.
Yeah, and she even mentioned being persuaded to buy multi-million-dollar properties and later losing a tremendous amount of money, painting a very detailed picture of her past struggles alongside this current drama. So if you want to keep up with all this, make sure you subscribe to Realty TV.
Yeah, and hit that bell icon. You don't want to miss our next breakdown.
Thank you for watching this video. See you tomorrow.